Welcome to Two Drs Homestead. My name is Daniel, and before we jump into the video here, I just want to take a second and thank everyone that's following the channel and watching the videos. We're having a lot of fun making the videos, and certainly all the new subscribers and comments and likes. We really enjoy that. We appreciate that. So thank you for being part of the channel, part of this experience. We say Two Drs Homestead. We consider ourselves homesteaders, but I'm also a prepper. I'm a second generation prepper, and with everything going on in the world right now, we've been leaning more into prepper content, trying to help people get prepared, right? Spread that message. There's a lot going on in the world right now, and it seemed like a good time to check your preps, right? To make sure you're prepared and help others get prepared. The more people that are prepared, whether it's having a little extra food, a little extra water, fewer people will panic if anything goes wrong. And we're kind of at that point in history where there's a lot that could go wrong. It's not just a bunch of hypothetical, hey, the poles are going to shift or something like that. CME, solar flares are going to happen. There's a lot going on in the world. So we have been leaning more into prepper content, and we appreciate everybody that's been watching the videos. So thank you for that. Now I wanted to jump into what we have here. This is an old Coleman stove. I say old because I've had it maybe 15-20 years. They last a very long time, and what we're kind of presenting this as is a 2-is-1, right? Meaning if you only have one way of doing things, say you got your stove in the house, if it's a power outage, maybe it's electric, or you have gas shut off or something like that, then you don't have anything. So you want to have a backup, you want to have a plan B. So this is certainly an option as a plan B. They are portable. It folds up like a little briefcase, and it runs on propane. So they're great little stoves to have. They have a couple different configurations, and I actually own 3 of these stoves. So you can see on this one, you have a grill that's removable, and then you have a burner here. So the grill, you can throw things like hot dogs, hamburgers, steaks, cook them directly on the grill, which is really nice to have. And then you've got a burner. You can make your coffee or anything like that. I have one stove that is all just one big flat top grill, and then I've got another one of these that's just 2 large burners. So there's different configurations. You can get what works for you. I like this because it has those 2 options, and you can make your burgers there. It's got a little grease catch, so they're not too heavy. You wouldn't necessarily put it in your backpack, but in terms of bug out or overlanding, car camping, anything like that, these are great options to have. Doesn't require electricity, and it runs on propane. So this is a standard 1-pound propane tank, and I've been able to go 3-4 days on this on one tank, but that's really going to depend on how much you use it, right? If you use it more than I did, it's not going to last as long. That's pretty obvious. So nice thing about propane is that it never expires. So you get these tanks, you want to store them properly, right? You don't want it to get all rusty. I got a little rust accumulating there. You don't want it to rust out or anything like that. The tanks will last a very long time, and they are refillable. So this is a little propane tank refill adapter. So if you got the 20-pound tanks or 100-pound tank or whatever you've got, you can actually refill these, so you have that portability option. Also, the other side of it is that this is an adapter that let us run this stove that's designed for these little tanks on a bigger tank. So both of them are good options. You can refill your little tanks, or you can just run it directly off a big tank if you're doing a lot of cooking or something like that. Outdoors, of course, you don't want to have to deal with flipping out the little tanks. You can just wire it directly to a big tank, or hose it, I guess. Something else I wanted to show you here is this is a Coleman lantern. Also had this for years. Great lanterns, right? This will screw directly on top of your little 1-pound tank, and it comes with a base for the tank. So this says 1,000 lumens. I know they put a ton of light. If you use it inside, it's going to light up a huge room. If you use it outside, it gives you a lot of light. There's just adjustability on brightness and whatnot, but these produce a ton of light. They're great if you really need to see what's going on. They use the little filaments in here, so if you're going to use it a lot, if you're not familiar with it, you might want to get some spare filaments, because if you don't light it properly, you can burn those out pretty quick. But it's a great light, produces a ton of light. A good lantern. I said it runs off the same 1-pound tanks as your Coleman grill. So Now, this is a plan B, right? We're talking about a plan B, or it could be if you're camping, this could be your plan A for camping. But if it's just your backup for bug-in or something like that, there are other options, right? You might already have a propane grill, propane barbecue. You might have a charcoal barbecue. You might have a wood smoker, right? There's a lot of options, different things you could have. We have a cowboy cooker, so certainly we can cook on the cowboy cooker, as long as we have firewood. I got a big stack of firewood, so there's a lot of options, but it's good to have a lot of options because you just don't know what's going on, right? You don't know what's going to happen, and you as a prepper, you're trying to be prepared for different things. I have this more because I used to do a lot of camping, very useful for that, but now that I have them, it gives me a good backup options, right? You want to kind of lean, I think, gray man. If something does happen, you look at, there's been some blackouts in recent history. A place like Venezuela had a major countrywide blackout, and things got pretty crazy almost immediately, right? And people start getting panicky. If you look at situations where maybe there's a food shortage or something like that, you don't want to be outside sitting in the backyard barbecuing a steak. If your neighbors don't have any food, you're going to draw a lot of attention. So if you're looking at indoor cooking options, and we've done some videos on those, some of the smaller appliances, smaller burners might be able to run on solar, right? And that's certainly a good gray man option because it's safer to use something like that, the solar indoor. If there's an EMP, solar may not work anymore, but your propane will. So as I said, it's good to have options. These are great. They do last a long time. They're pretty durable. I probably need to clean this one. I haven't used it in a while, but it'll be fine. So I wanted to share that with you, give you some Coleman options. It's even the Coleman propane, Coleman stove, and a little Coleman lantern. So something to think about. So I hope that helps out, and we appreciate you.